Hello everyone, this is Soli, your piano teacher. This week we're going to practice tremolo. Last week we practiced trill. In this video I'll show you how to combine trill and tremolo. Before we talk about tremolo, let's talk about trill. It takes a long time to learn trill, so don't stop here. You need to continue practicing. What was your metronome number last week? Can you play well in that tempo? If the answer is no, you need to practice more. If the answer is yes, good. Now you can practice faster. Move your metronome number up and practice in the faster tempo. You need to practice at least a couple more weeks. Now let's move to tremolo. When I teach trill to students, sometimes students ask me a question. Here's how I'm doing the trill. Can I move my hand? I think it's easier. Wow, that's great. You just learned how to do tremolo. Some students can learn naturally. Some students wait until I tell them how to do it. To be more precise, last week's exercise, I'm going to call it finger trill, and this week's exercise, I am calling it tremolo trill. Now, did you catch the magic word earlier? Moving hand. I moved my hand and I think it's easier to do trill. I recommend to learn both techniques. You need both finger trill and tremolo trill. Sometimes you just need to do short one and move the finger. Something like this. Now, when we do the long trill, sometimes the finger trill can make your hand tired, and it is easier to use tremolo. So I'm moving my hand instead of my finger. I always start with finger trill first, because if I teach tremolo trill first, students get lazy. They don't want to move their fingers. So I always start with the finger trill and then add tremolo trill after that. Now you know my style. I always practice on the lead first. So let me show you how to practice on the lead. So let's practice finger number 2 and 3. So I put both finger number 2 and 3 down and move my hand to the left side, and you see actually my finger 3 is slightly higher. There's a gap between lead and my finger. Okay, now when I move to the right, now here number 2 is a little bit high. Notice I'm not moving my fingers up. Okay, I put both 2 and 3 down and move to the side and move to the other side, just back and forth, and nice and easy. Now when I do it slowly, you actually see my arm is moving. It is okay. Now don't do it opposite way, because you saw my arm moving. You're going to try to achieve this by moving your arm. See how awkward it is? And my arm is so wobbly. Don't do that. When you move your hand, it's going to just move naturally, and that is okay. Just keep it. Move it naturally. Now when I go faster, this movement is very small. Maybe you can still see it. So that's fine. You don't need to hold it and try not to move, okay? So just let it move naturally. So you see a little bit of movement there. That is good. Okay, so now let's go back. 2 and 3, slowly, and try a little faster. Okay, now let's try 3 and 4. Both 3 and 4 down. Move to the left, move to the right. Feel that rocking motion. And move faster. I am not sure you can see. There is a little bit of a gap when I move it, okay? Not a lot. Actually, I forgot to show you one thing. I said when I move to the side, my finger comes up. Actually, when I play on the piano, what is happening? I'm actually pushing the keys down. You see the keys moving down? And the other finger is actually touching the key. I don't lift it on, I just stay there. So when I move to the left side, I'm pressing down the key, and the other finger is just sitting on top of the key. Now here, the number 3 is down. I push down number 3. Number 2 is just staying. I don't need to lift it, okay? You don't need to lift your finger. Just push down the key, and the other finger is gonna be stay on the key. So I barely lift my finger. So my fingers are actually staying on the key and just push it down. But before we do that, we have to get used to practice on the lead. So let's go back to 3 and 4. Here's the 3, 4, side by side. Now, when you get used to it, gradually move faster. Okay, they're okay. Now, 4 and 5 is a little awkward, but try that. So 4, now you see that 5 is quite high because my pinky is short. Now here's 5, move to 4, left side, here is right side, left, right, left, right. Okay, now let's practice 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. How about 1 and 3? We actually use 1 and 3 a lot because it's a good combination. 1, 3, left, right, left, right, left, right. Also, we use 2 and 4. 2 and 4, 2, 4, left, right, left, right, and a little faster. 3, 5. Not a lot, not often, but it's a good one to practice. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and move a little faster. Remember, you have to move your hand left and right, okay? Don't move your hand up and down, or like, well, that was arm, I'm sorry, arm up and down, or like a hand up and down, especially when you play the black key. Sometimes you want to do that. That is really bad, okay? Keep the same position. So your arm right here is parallel to the ground, okay? But don't put your wrist high, don't put your shoulder high, don't stick out your elbow too much, okay? Nothing is high, just parallel to the ground, okay? And then move gently. Let's try 3 and 5 again. Okay? You should feel very comfortable. You can actually do this in tall, and maybe you can eat something. That's all possible because you really don't need to do too much. Once you get used to it, you feel so comfortable. You can just naturally do it. You know those people that shake their legs? It's just like that. Sometimes they don't know they're shaking. So you can just do this so easy, and you can do other things at the same time. Now let's move to the piano. So here is 2 and 3. Remember that I'm pressing down the key, and the other finger is actually staying on the key. So I'm pushing down number 2, and number 3 is staying. Now I push down number 3, number 2 is actually still on the key, okay? Sometimes it's just easier to try fast. So let's try fast. If you want to gradually get faster, that's fine. Let's try 3 and 4. 4 and 5. How about 1 and 2? Ooh, my number 1 is louder than number 2. Did you hear that? Because I put a little bit too much weight on the number 1. So find the good balance between number 1 and 2, and don't put it toward the number 1. Okay, so start with number 1 and 2 both down. Now come up, push 1 and 2. Make sure the number 1 is not too loud. Okay, let's try again. I had to really focus because my number 1 was a little bit loud. Okay, now let's try 1, 3. I actually like this combination. 1 and 3 is actually easier than 1 and 2 to control. Okay, how about 2 and 4? 3 and 5? Do you remember Brahms exercise that we did last week? We can use that for this exercise. Okay, you don't need to plan how many times you're going to play the right hand. Just do the tremolo just naturally. Let it happen. How fast, how slow, how many times is up to you. Okay, so let's try it. Practice the first one again. Now let's try the different number. 3 and 1. Do you remember 2 and 4? 2 and 4. 3 and 5. Now I'm going to do 2 and 3 again. 2 and 4. And then 1 and 3. Okay, that's the last one. How did you do? Okay, so practice. This is a little different than last week, but this is very useful. So you need to practice this one and get used to it. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.